Will Candace Parker be canceled after her Caitlin Clark comments? Let's get into this thing right now. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you. Welcome back to the channel. Had to jump on here real fast, man, because honestly, guys, Candace Parker set the sports world on fire with her interview on First Take, but I had to come in and talk about how, man, I think she has declared war. And I think that the powers that be, the traditional WNBA people, are not going to be happy with what she said about Caitlin Clark on First Take. Now, granted, guys, she ain't stupid. By the way, she looked amazing. I saw all that on Twitter. And this is the worst thing that could happen to the traditionalists with the WNBA, the social activist people from the WNBA. The worst possible thing that could have happened to them is somebody like Candace Parker, baller at Tennessee, baller when she came into the WNBA, hell of an analyst on inside the NBA, calls games. This was the worst thing that could happen to the traditionalists. And if I'm Caitlin Clark's people, I'm clipping that and I'm putting it everywhere. But Candace Parker gonna be canceled. Candace Parker, now here's what's gonna happen. She's gonna be canceled by the WNBA, but she's gonna be embraced by the Caitlin Clark fans, and I wouldn't be surprised if her new book doesn't become a bestseller. And this is why I'm trying to tell you guys, once somebody from the ranks, once somebody with cachet from the old school starts banking on this thing, when they start banking on this thing and they start getting this Caitlin Clark message too, this might change. And I think this is why it was so good that Caitlin Clark got, sat out for these weeks, missed these couple games. Things started tanking, all this kind of stuff. Because Candace Parker may have sent the dog whistle to old school, and these people holding on to the pathetic way that WNBA was. It's time to move to this new generation, guys. Because if Caitlin Clark can take this to the next generation, she gonna get more than a pension. She gonna have more book sales. All these things that can help elevate these women to where they're not being subsidized by the NBA. But guys, I think she's gonna be canceled. She's gonna be canceled by the old, but she's gonna be embraced by the new. But Caitlin Clark's team need to clip this, guys. We going right over here to Sports Illustrated. Let me just share this real fast. We're going right over here. And I had to do this for y'all. Guys, this thing was crazy. Let me go up here so y'all can see the title. Candace Parker assesses Caitlin Clark WNBA resentful narrative with 5-word message. Let's get into this. A common narrative around the WNBA that refuses to die down is whether there is any resentment among league veterans and former players to the sport's current crop of superstars, specifically Caitlin Clark, for receiving so much credit for the WNBA's boom in popularity, especially because these players had set the foundation for the stars today. Few people are better suited to speak on this than WNBA legend Candace Parker, who retired right before the transcendent 2024 season that saw Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and others arrive on the scene. And Parker gave her take on all this during the appearance on First Take. Stephen A. posed to Parker, there were an abundance of women doing tremendous work on behalf of the WNBA. And you just sense that folks were feeling an absence of appreciation for what they had done to bring the WNBA to where it is now. Can you speak to the collective frustration that some may have been feeling and whether or not you think it's something that's being overcome? Now, guys, I think that's a loaded question from Stephen A. Right? What's happening is you want the WNBA old school want to force a product down our throat that nobody wants. Right? Let's not act like the WNBA had been brought so far. Nobody was watching it prior to this Caitlin Clark. And when I say nobody was watching, I'm talking about nobody of scale. Like really getting people's attention, social media and all this kind of stuff. It's so crazy to me because I'm asked so many times if I'm resentful in any type of way for where the WNBA is right now. My job was to leave the game better than where I came into it. You think Cheryl Miller is resentful for me that I had a league to play in? No, she's been a mentor that she is, and she's supporting and loving. And I'm doing the same thing for Caitlin Clark and all the women in the WNBA. Y'all notice what name she left out? She didn't say Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and all the women in the WNBA. She knows Angel Reese. got a lot of work to do on her game. So when Stephen A tried to put Angel Reese in there, Stephen A don't want to be called a racist or be called disrespectful because he's not mentioning Angel Reese every time he mentioned Caitlin Clark. Candace Parker came right back and only mentioned Caitlin Clark's name. Now, let's continue. Parker later added, I think that rivalry is super important. I think conversation is super important, but I want to keep that within the lines of the game. And I think that's what's important. Now, I want to go there, guys. She said, I think rivalry is important. Another shot at Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese ain't a rivalry. The rivalry they're trying to put between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese has nothing to do with basketball. Okay? The key is let's keep it about basketball. That's my thing. And when we do that, then we're able to really grow the game and what it represents. So I think the WNBA as a whole is in an amazing place. Why, guys? When Caitlin Clark is here, we're talking about basketball. Anybody else in the WNBA that you talk about, everything else is tied to it, right? I know Cheryl Swoops gonna be mad as hell about this, guys, right? When she started talking about Dominique Wilkins and when she started talking about Michael Jordan, she started talking about those rivalries. What she's letting everybody know, man, stop doing this to Angel Reese. Angel Reese is not on the level of Caitlin Clark. There's other basketball players who can probably be on the level as Caitlin Clark. But basically, let's ride this wave. Okay? Let's ride this wave. Now, Parker summarizing this message with let's keep it about basketball speaks volumes. What's for sure is that women's basketball is blessed to have someone like Parker as an ambassador. Guys, this is absolutely crazy. I said she will be canceled by old school and current WNBA social justice warrior players. She's going to be canceled. Guys, I like Candace Parker again. Follow her, with what she does with the NBA. She always has a good narrative. You know what I respect about her? Shaq respects her when she's on the panel with him. All the guys on the panel respect her when she's up there. And I think that's huge because that's what women's basketball should always be about, which is if we can make it about basketball, the league can grow. But guys, I hope her book sells. She was just throwing out the first pitch. But I think now that she's pretty much aligned herself with Caitlin Clark, the arrows are going to be coming for her. The arrows are going to be coming for her. Don't be surprised about hit pieces. Don't be surprised that you start seeing more stuff come out about Candace Parker that we didn't know. They do not want her out here talking. And if Caitlin Clark's fan buy this book, guys, I got to tell you, Caitlin Clark needs to clip these things on her social media right now. She just got a person from the old school cut her teeth that everybody respects. She ain't about that message. Is it because she's selling the book? I don't know, and I don't care. But I know this just changed the narrative about the old school fighting with Caitlin Clark. You got one person that get it, guys. It ain't gonna be long before some of the other ones, because with Caitlin Clark being out, nobody wanted to watch this. Look at the ratings, look at the ticket prices. Candace Parker's not stupid. If WNBA fails, her legacy fails. She needs the WNBA to grow. Candace Parker sees the Walt Fraziers and all the old school players that because the NBA is exploding with these major contracts and TV deals, that it makes the vets, it makes the retirees give a better life. They getting to come back and sit courtside and all that. We know she getting her jersey retired. Get ready for the hit pieces. She gonna get canceled by the old. But Caitlin Clark just got a supporter in the new. Y'all get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Man, is Jeff crazy or is Jeff on to something? If you hadn't already, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications. Until next time, I'm going to holler.